Monday Squawk, welcome back. The world's largest EV battery maker, Cattle of China, says profits third quarter nearly tripled on year to $1.3 billion. It attributes that to the uptick in demand for EVs worldwide as an increasing number of countries ramp up efforts towards going green. In Southeast Asia, meantime, the Philippines is at just the early stage of electrification. Philippine conglomerate Ayala Corporation is aiming to lead that charge. Bringing Arthur Tan, president and CEO at AC Industrial, which is a unit of Ayala. He joins us live from the Philippine capital, Manila. Arthur, great to see you. Welcome, and I hope you're keeping safe where you are. So talk to us about under AC and also the Ayala Group's initiatives in terms of pushing this whole electrification and EV thing in the Philippines. How are things going?
Things are going well. Good morning. Thank you for having me, Martin, Andy. Nice to see you. Basically, as you know, Ayala has been one of the forefront here in the country that has signed up for the carbon neutrality by 2050. And so we find that that's a very clear and important milestone that we have to achieve. And that growth to get there is not going to be an easy one, especially for an emerging country like the Philippines. So we've taken on a first step here by not only introducing the full electric vehicles in our portfolio as the ones under AC Industrial, but also within the group for all the other portfolio companies within Ayala Group to work together to provide an EV ecosystem that would make sure that the Philippines will be able to bridge and make it to the level that is necessary for climate change.
So, Arthur, I'm curious. I was going to ask you to talk a little bit more about what Ayala and specifically AC are doing, but let's get back to that in just a bit. I want to ask you, what do you think the government needs to do more of to accelerate the build-out of this EV ecosystem in the Philippines?
Well, as you know, we've just had a new government, but the previous government has already put into play several laws that I believe is the first step to be able to get us to that level. We have an EV law, we have a CREATE law, we had a SERDI law that actually allows now some level of incentives for electric vehicles to be sold and manufactured here in the country. We're still in the very early stages of these laws, and we're waiting for the IRRs for it. That I believe will be the one that will help catalyze the proliferation of the EV infrastructure here in the country. But notwithstanding that, Ayala is not waiting for those IRRs to come through. We've already initiated several activities within the group that will help accelerate this transition.
When you talk about incentives for sales and manufacturing, where does the government sit on subsidies for individuals to buy EVs in the Philippines, Arthur? Because, we've obviously seen that work to a certain degree in the United States, but, still for a lot of people, EVs are considered a very high or too high price point.
It is, even here in the Philippines. And I think this is where, instead of providing individual subsidies to the buyer themselves, I think since we're relatively a developing country, we don't have that much in order to support. But what we could do is through policies wherein we're allowing importers and manufacturers like us to be able to bring in the vehicle with reduced taxes is one step. The next step is the actual proliferation and the mandate that we will have to provide EV charging stations, for example, in all the malls, in all the institutions, and all the public parking places that are all over the country. And then the third level there, where we're trying to make it into a whole complete cycle, is we have another division within Ayala called ACEN, which is our AC Energy, which already has a target of about 20 gigawatts of full renewable energy that's going to be deployed by 2030. And couple that with our infrastructure, we're going to be able to complete the cycle of having not only the availability of electric vehicle charging, the vehicles themselves, the location of where it is going to be useful for the infrastructure, but as well as the supply side of the energy that's going to provide it as a clean source of energy.
So to achieve your goals then, Arthur, how much are you looking to commit? And to what degree are you also looking to partnerships to help achieve this vision? And will those partnerships be largely local or foreign?
It's a combination, primarily on the local front. I believe from what we see is going to be very difficult. As you said, the cost of an electric vehicle is still significantly more than an ICE, especially for the mainstream vehicles. And so what we're looking at is being able to help provide an infrastructure system and the models capable of then changing the transport side of the country and making the EV vehicles more available for that. We already have example of that. We have a global electric transport by the Aboitiz Group that actually started already putting in an electrified shuttle service within the country. And we're providing the EV charging system there through IMI. And we're also providing all different initiatives for that.
All right. Arthur, listen, fantastic talking to you. Thank you for sharing with us and appreciate your time. Please continue to keep safe and hope to talk to you again very soon. Arthur Tan, AC Industrial, joining Mans and I live. Quick break on Squawk. We are back in 2.